Hi guys, welcome back to Game Racer. I've got another Amiga video here. We're going to go into a more detailed look of my Wild, the Weird and the Wicked pack, Amiga 600. I did a little pickups video on this a few months ago, so I thought we'd go into a little bit more of a detailed look onto the machine. So here's the machine that I picked up. So it's a pretty decent, not much discolouring on the machine, apart from the space bar. There's a little bit of oxidisation. But overall, a pretty mint machine, I think you'll agree. So one of the problems I did have with it when I picked it up though was it would boot up, but it would take about 2 minutes to get to the kickstart screen. So what I did was I had it recapped at Amiga Passion. So I'll put a link in the description at the bottom so you can have a look at their website. So they specialise in recapping Amigas. So once I had that done, the machine's run perfectly. Had no problems, boot straight up every time, as it should. And this machine, the Amiga 600, it was the final Amiga to use the 68K Motorola CPU and the ECS chipset. So it was also the first Amiga to be manufactured in the UK, or Scotland to be more specific, in Irvine. And I say one of the major things is it's lacking a numeric keypad, so you've got a smaller form factor, which was very handy when I was younger because I used to live in Africa. So when I picked this up, I could fit this quite conveniently in my hand luggage. I won't be taking the box with me, but that was perfect to just fit in a nice big sports bag, so that was quite handy. So you have got the portability of the machine. Another thing, back in the day I used to take it to my friend's house and I'd lug a little TV over as well, so we could do link-up play on Lotus 2, which was terrific. There's a few other games you could play, Stunt Car Racer, Super Skid Marks you could link up as well, which was pretty great. So, but on the other thing, I suppose with it not having a numeric keypad though, it was a pain for some flight simulators, so you couldn't play F-18 effectively without the numeric keypad as an example. But other than that, no problems. And basically all the A600 was basically an Amiga 500 in a more compact package. I mean, it was originally designed to be an A300, to be a machine below the A500, but price wise it ended up costing the same if not more than the A500 did. Some of the benefits it has over the A500 Plus, for example, was it you can install an internal 2.5 inch hard drive, and it also had the PCMC IA slots on the side where you could expand the RAM through that, fast RAM, and you could do an extra 1 megabyte chip RAM in the trapdoor. And now there are more expansions you can get for the machine now in more recent times, so you can get 020, 030 accelerator cards, and then the ultimate being the Vampire card. And there's also some other bigger RAM upgrades you could get as well, and also there's some very clever hard disk drive upgrades you can install as well using a memory card and an adapter, which is pretty cool. And you could use WHD load to get all your games on there. Now, one of the great things I found with the Amiga back in the day was a lot of the cover discs you used to get on the magazines, particularly in the later life of the Amiga. I remember getting the shoot 'em up construction kit, and I remember making games based on Star Wars, Commando and Top Gun. And what I would do, I had a sound sampler. I think it was a Techno sound sampler, I can't remember exactly, but I used that, connected it up to my VCR and captured the sound from the movies. So I'd have various quotes off the movies from Top Gun, Commando and Star Wars, and I'd capture the laser blasts or missiles shooting off and explosions, which really had a nice atmosphere to the games that I made on it. I don't have the disc now, I wish I did, because I did spend a lot of time and effort in those, but it might be something I might try and redo again, so it'd be quite a fun little project to do. Other cover discs, I remember Real 3D was on one of them, and Imagine 2 for 3D rendering. Although on the Amiga 600, as standard, you'd be taking weeks or months to do a proper rendered animation. But I know Imagine 2, that was used for Super Skid Marks and Skid Marks games. they 3D rendered, they pre-3D rendered the cars in the game, which is pretty cool. Right, so now what we'll do is I'll open up the case and we'll have a closer look to see what Amiga Passion did with the recapping of the machine. See, the keyboard is a smaller form factor. You've not got your numeric keypad on the right hand side. You've got your power, floppy and hard disk drive lights if you have one installed. This is the standard A600 model, not the HD one. Go around the side, you've got your floppy. So around the side you've got your floppy disk drive there. You've got your mouse and your game port there for a joystick. You can use the mouse one for joystick number 2 if you're doing 2-player. Floppy drive is at an angle, unlike with the A500, A500 Plus, where let's spin it around. You've got all your ports. You've got your disk drive, serial port, parallel port, left and right phono audio sockets, your video, you can get RGB video through to the monitor, your composite out, RF modulator, if you want to use that nowadays, but I'd rather use the composite or even better RGB, and obviously that's for your power supply unit, which is a separate brick. Also around this side, I shouldn't forget, you've got your PCMCIA slot there. Which is a new feature for the Amiga, so it featured in the A600 and then followed by the A1200. Okay, let's open up inside. I've already done the screws anyway. So there we go. That's your ribbon cable there for your keyboard, floppy disk drive. There's the cradle for your hard drive, your 2.5-inch hard drive. As I said, you can get adapters for them as well, where you can have either use a CF memory card, as I talked about earlier. You've got all your chips are surface mounted on this machine, and apart from your ROM chip, which can be removed. So say on the A500 and A500 Plus, a lot of these chips could be removed, but it has helped reliability having them surface mounted so they can't come loose. You've got your game ports there. There's a sticker there from Amiga Passion, which has now changed the name to Retro Passion. So that's saying now it's been recapped in November 2019. I had it done. So it's a great service. I mean, you just basically, I took my Amiga apart, took the motherboard out, and put it in an anti-static bag. I shipped it over to them, and yeah, they got it all done, shipped it all back, and just loaded it back into the case, and yeah, jobs are good. And I mean, you can see here, that's the recapping job that they've done. Picks up well on camera. It just says a thing that it can do with the RF modulator, but I said not to bother with that because I'm not going to use that. I don't think anyone would ever use it, even if I sold it. So yeah, that's basically what they did. So I would recommend them. Have a look at their website. They've changed the name to Retro Passion now. So by the looks of it, they are doing other consoles as well. So I've actually got a Mega CD1 that I wouldn't mind getting sorted because the disk drive's not running properly. So I don't know if that's something they could do. That's something I might give them a shout out for. So we'll see. Right, another interesting fact. I did say that they made this machine in the UK, but they also made it in Hong Kong and the Philippines. So this is a Hong Kong made machine, and there's a serial number if anyone's interested. Let's have a look at the box. So there it is. A few little blemishes on the side. Oh, that's quite bad, but I didn't notice that. Little blemish there. Overall, 28-year-old box and machine. I'm quite impressed. So you had the games that came with it, the packing games, Pushover. So there's an interesting story about that. That was a competition for Quavers Crisps here in the UK. And they were giving away Amiga 600s that you could win in the pack, or just the pushover game. I actually did get a pack and I won the pushover game. Unfortunately, I didn't have an Amiga at the time, but I did borrow my friend's Amiga to play it on, so we used to take it around there. So that was great, at least I got to play the game, and then I still held on to it, but then when I did get an Amiga, it already came with it anyway, so there was the big box version where it's a small box version they put in here. You got Deluxe Paint 3, which is a great paint package, so every Amiga user is familiar with that. You got your quick connection guide on the back, which is pretty straightforward standard stuff nowadays. You've got putty, wasn't a bad platformer, with this little ball of putty that bounces around everywhere. Wasn't a massive fan of it, but not bad to say it was free with the machine. Also Jeff Cramond's Formula 1 Grand Prix, brilliant game that. 3D polygonal graphics. I mean, really you do need a faster machine to run it. It doesn't really do it justice on this machine, to be fair. But again, if you had an accelerator card in it, it will deliver results. Yeah, pretty decent canvas. I'll open up inside. It didn't come boxed with everything. I mean, you've got the cables. This had the more modern mouse, which is what I did have when I originally picked it up. Some machines did come with the old style tank mouse, the Amiga 500s. This is the power brick. I mean, it's not like, unlike the Amiga 500 one, this is actually quite a light unit. There's not much weight to that at all. It looks chunky, but it's very light. Got your power on off switch there. Polystyrene box to hold the machine in. Came with a dust cover. And everything was in the bag, so unfortunately the games were not boxed. You've got your Amiga 600 user manual. Using the Amiga workbench. Some good bedtime reading there, like a flight simulator. More bedtime reading with the Grand Prix. Yeah, have details of all the tracks as well, with corner names, what gears you should be in. So again, I mean, this was years before Gran Turismo, and yeah, you get all the information you needed in there. Deluxe Paint, some more bedtime reading. So it's a great paint package. There's many things you can do with that, animations, etc. A lot of fun using that. Also, it did come with this box of floppy disks as well. So obviously it's got all the games that came with the machine. I didn't have the boxes for them with it. Oh, this is a great little thing. Rello Click 1.3. So that soft boots the ROM to the 1.3 ROM, so you can play some of the older games. So that's definitely worth a pickup if you want to play some of the older games. So we've got the putty game. Had some copy disc, which is what this was all about back in the day, really, wasn't it? I think, if we're all honest, we all had these knocking around, didn't we? And we're just swapping them at school and the playground. So we all have plenty of stories about that. So I've got Robocop James Pond 2. Software 2000, quality PD and shareware. So I've had a little look through them. There's some little bits, nothing special. I could do a video of that if anyone is interested. Deluxe Paint, of course your workbench discs, which you need if you're installing it on a hard drive. Other than that, I don't really use it. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that little look at my Amiga 600 Wild, the Weird and the Wicked pack. So yeah, I'd like to say if you enjoyed this video, if you could please like and subscribe. As I say, it does motivate me to make more videos. So now I'd like to say thanks for watching.